Hey guys, welcome. So we got another interesting coin today that we're going to use to make a coin ring. This is a Afghanistan War veterans. I think this is going to make a really excellent ring. So first thing we're going to do is anneal. So let's get started. Mark it with a Sharpie. Change camera here. There we go. Okay, I think that's probably pretty good. Don't want to overheat it, but I do want to get it annealed. It seems like these big copper coins take a couple of attempts at annealing to get it softened up. Alright, dry it up and I'll be right back. Okay, went ahead and pickled the coin to just clean it up so we could, just makes it easier to see what's going on. So for those of you that don't know, jeweler's pickle is a mild acid that will remove fire scale and tarnish. Okay, so I'm going to use a 9/16 punch. I'd like to use a smaller one to, keep a little bit more of this detail, but I think overall it'll make a better coin ring if I use this a little bit larger punch. So let's go ahead and tighten this down real good. And gonna lubricate the punch with some burlap. And I'm gonna use this 2-pound brass hammer to punch the hole. There we go. There's our center. Alright, so I'm going to knock this punch out of here, and I'm going to hold on to that punch with my little finger here so it doesn't go flying and hit the floor when I use the right side. Be a good thing. Anyway, I don't want this punch to go flying and hit the floor. So there we go. Now we're ready to continue. Put away our tools. And we'll start the folding process now. There's a hole. Okay, so we're going to use this dapping block to start the folding process, and we want this side to be the side that shows on the ring, so that's going to go down in the dapping block. And we want to make sure, to the best of our ability, that coin is centered, and that when it starts to fold, that it folds evenly. Because if it doesn't, then I'll be having to put in some extra effort to recover. Okay. Get this under the rim. Try and get it centered the best as possible. And as this goes down, I'm going to be watching. Oops, it's already. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to take my time. Make sure it goes down straight as possible. Take a look at it. See how it looks. Not too bad. Not perfect, but I think it's okay. All right, so we're going to continue folding with this 17-degree reduction die, and we'll start out with the stainless steel cone, and then when we get about halfway, we will change over to the composite cone. Alright, so again, we want to make sure, to the best of our ability, that the coin is level in this die. Okay, that's pretty good. Looking pretty good. So I'm going to anneal this thing now, and then we'll switch over to this composite cone. Alright, so I went ahead and went ahead and pickled after I annealed it, so we're ready for the rest of the folding. I'm going to lubricate with a little bit of coconut oil. Put this in here. Try not to disturb the coin. Looks pretty good. Alright, that's, I think, about as good as it's going to get. Oh, man, after that second anneal, this copper just gets so soft. It's really amazing. I should probably anneal twice before I even start. Alright. Alright, so I'm going to put this paper towel on here to protect the coin, the detail on the inside. And the coin has started to take on a ring shape. But what we're going to do now is flare it out into more of a finished ring shape. Give it a turn every time. Now you can see that this cut edge is starting to fold upwards into more a ring shape. We need to go a little bit further. Gonna have to change paper towel here pretty quick. On smaller rings, we want the reed edge to actually fold up towards almost in contact with the mandrel, but on these big coins, it's just not possible. So I'll just take it down as far as I can go. So you can see it's still a long way to go before it actually would close up there, but yeah, we'll make the best of it. Guess I could get out the mega stretcher and the ring will come out better if I a little more work. I have to reduce it more. All right, I think we'll stop there. Okay, now we'll move over to the Swedish wrap die and start reducing and straightening these walls. Okay, so got the coin all wrapped up in the plumber's tape, Blue Monster, and put it in here. I want to press that down in there as straight as possible. So I'm going to set this on top of it and just push it down to where the coin is level with the top of the die. now we'll get our pusher. Start out with a brass pusher. And push it down a little bit. I'm going to go really slow and take it out and inspect it frequently, because I don't want the detail to poke through that tape, and because we'll smash it and really damage it, and it's easy to do. So I really take a little more time, and the tape came off of the side of the reed, which is okay because it'll just basically polish that. What I don't want to have happen is, you can see here, you can start to read the Afghanistan starting to come through that tape. So I think I better give it a couple more wraps. And then I'll push it down a little bit more, and then I'll turn it over and push it down the opposite way. Alright, so every time we push this down into the die, what we're actually doing is making it smaller and smaller. Just get it even. Alright, now we'll push it with the brass pusher. Kind of feels like we might need to anneal again. Alright, let's take a look. You can see it's still threatening, I can't say it, to poke through. So I'm going to turn it over now and go this way. However, I'm going to switch to the Ross pusher because I don't want to damage that reed with this brass. I suppose I could put a cotton pad in there. That would help to protect it. So let's just push it down a little bit. Take a look. And see, now this tape's starting to harden. So offer a little more protection. But I can actually read Afghanistan war veterans through that tape. So anyway, I think it's time to anneal, so we'll pull this off and anneal the coin, and then I'll come back. Okay, so I wrapped it up again after annealing and pickling. So let's go ahead and continue. Got a long way to go to get this reduced to where it needs to be. I want to take it down to around 10 and a half or 11. Alright, so that's as far as I'm going to be able to go with the brass, because it bottoms out inside the die, even without the ring in there, so that's as far as it's going to go. So we'll have to change to Ross pusher now. So I'm going to turn it over, push from this way now. Each one of these lines is about a size, complete size. Okay, still looking good. I'm happy with the way this looks. Detail is protected. So now I'll turn it back around this way. Put the reed side down. And we'll continue. Take it down to that one. I think that's good for this push. Alright, so now we're in the danger zone. Some of the stars started to come through, but still think we're okay. Didn't really damage them. Would have if I would have kept going. So let's check the size. Yes, that's what I mean. I want to go nice, small steps. I actually went a little bit too far that time. Okay, so we're 11. I want to keep going. Probably push it all the way through. That'll give us about a size 10. And then when we remove this ridge in here, that'll be good for at least half to 3/4 of the size. So let's put a few more wraps on this. Almost going to have to switch over to the smaller Ross pusher shortly. This one's starting to get hard to go through. See what check this other Ross and see. Yeah, I think we can switch over to this one. I want to bring this edge down some more. I do want to make sure that this is centered good though, because it can slip off and damage it. we're getting pretty straight. So I think it's time to anneal again and take a good look at what we got here. So pull this tape off. It can be really difficult to get off, so if it takes too much effort, I'll just stop the video and do it off camera. But it looks like it's coming off. The last one was really tough. I don't want to break my thumbnail. Okay, almost to where I can grab it and pull it off. There we go. There we go. Alright, so what do we got here? Starting to look pretty good. Walls are almost perfectly straight. I'm pretty pleased with that. Check the size. We're a size 10 3/4. So I still want to bring it down some more. Like I mentioned a minute ago, I think we want to go ahead and just push it all the way through the die. Let it come out the bottom. Alright, I'm going to anneal this and pickle it and wrap it, and then I'll be back. Alright, so I'm back, and I annealed, pickled, and wrapped the coin up in the tape, and we're getting ready to do some more reducing here. Alright, let's take a look. Make sure everything's still kosher. Yep, looking good. No danger signs there. So I'm going to turn it over and continue. Okay, it's starting to come out the bottom. No wonder it stopped. And we're still looking good. So we'll get out the old ring bearer, which will allow the ring just to come right on through. I'll catch it. Kind of like a baby being born. Let's see. I need to switch over to the larger opening. Okay, so now I've lost track of which side it went through. Like this, I can tell from the impressions in the tape. So I'll go ahead and turn it over and push it through this way just to make sure it's all evened up. There we go. All right. What did that get us? Feels like it's pretty small. It's 9. A little smaller than I wanted. Let's see how much material I have to remove there. I'm going to go ahead and remove that material and see where that puts us. Might need to stretch it out a little bit. Or this is not for a customer, so size is not really critical. Alright, I'm going to get back to you. Alright, so we got, after I removed all that meat out of there, we're now at 9.5. So I think that's good. It looks really nice. The walls are really straight. Real happy with that. So time to take it over to the polishing station and get it all polished up. And I haven't decided yet if I'm going to powder coat this or not. May not be the best candidate for powder coating because of the detail. Yeah, I'll give it some thought. Alright, I'll get back to you. Alright, so I'm going to get the steel wool on this, clean it up real nice, and work on this edge right here. First I'm going to turn this on. Sorry about the noise, but I don't want to breathe all this crap in. Let's get some sandpaper on this edge. It's getting there. Need a little bit more though. Most of the rough lines out. There's still a few though. I think it needs a little more. Then I'll switch to a finer grit, finish it off. Okay, that's good. We'll switch to some 600 now. That side looks good. Now let's turn around and get the cut side. Ooh, might not be able to get it on here. It's too small. Yeah, I'm going to do this manually, I guess. Well, I'm not going to make you watch that, so I'll be back. Alright, so let's work on this cut edge, get it nice and smooth. Alright, so we got the ring all polished up and sanded around the edges, so now it's time to get this ready for powder coating. And to do that, I'm going to mask off the areas that I don't want powder coat on with this solder mask, liquid solder mask. It's a high temperature material that's used in manufacturing of printed circuit boards that have to go through high temperature ovens. So to me, I just find this better than using tape, high temperature tape. Everyone has their own preference. What I like about this material is that you can really block off the inside so that you don't get powder coat paint up in the inside of your ring, because when that happens, it's really difficult to sand it off without messing up the inside, the detail on the inside of the ring. So this is the way I like to do it. So I'm just going to finish up this reed, and then I'm going to turn off the camera, and then I'll come back, bring you back when it's all done, and take a look at it together. I used to use this stuff for masking when I was racing slot cars. I would use this to mask off the windows. And then when I came across this use, I thought, oh, I know I'll work for this. All right, I'll bring you back when this is all done. All right, so got it done. I want to be careful here. I don't want it to. There we go. I don't want to touch it, or it shouldn't be touched. Okay, so you can see. Hopefully, you can see. They've got the bottom all blocked off. Not going to be any paint getting up in there. And same for the top. Come on, camera. There we go. top nice and blocked off, masked off. So once this dries, it'll be ready for powder coating. That'll take a while, so we'll come back in about an hour and finish this off. Alright guys, well, it's time to do the powder coating. We got everything set up. And let me load up my brush. And let's get this going. So I'm activating the system. You see how that, look how that paint just hops over there to the ring. It's really quite cool. The ring is on the negative post of the powder coating system, and this brush is on the positive. So when I activate it, the differences in electrical potential just pull that paint right on over. Alright, so let's turn it around and get the other side. The other side's even got coated. I remembered to turn off my ceiling fan this time, so it's working much better. So let's take a look here. Looks like we got a very nice coat. Yeah, looks good to me. Alright, so I'm going to put this ring in the oven, and then we'll just watch it until the paint liquefies. And when that happens, it'll be time to take it out. And let me stop that. There, that's better. So now we just wait. This flat black is a little bit difficult to see when it starts to flow. The glossy paints are a lot easier, but I'll just keep an eye on it here. I'm not sure you'll be able to see it liquefy on camera. Can we zoom in a little more? Not quite centered, but at least it's zoomed in a little more. I don't want to let it get cured too much, or it'll be really hard to sand it off. So if anybody has any questions about this or the way I've set it up, please feel free to send me a comment. I'll be happy to answer any questions that I can. Okay, I think it's starting. Yeah, it's starting to flow. Yeah, I think that's enough. All right, so I'll bring you back when I start cleaning this up. Okay, so I dipped the ring in some water here to cool it off. Now I'll show you why I like this material, this solder mask. It peels off, so there you go. All right, now see this, I'll show you how this just peels off. Just paint it on, and then when you're done, you just peel it off. Just like that. And there's not even a speck of paint on the inside, which is one of the problems I had using the tape, the high temperature tape. So I always had problems getting it sealed off inside. Once you get some of this powder coat paint on the inside of your ring, it's really hard to recover from that. Just dry the inside out. Take a look, everything looks good. All right. I'll show you how, for those of you who may not have seen this before, I'll show you how this works. I'm not going to film the whole thing because it takes too long, but focus, zoom in a little bit. So, I don't know if you can see it or not, but right there, Afghanistan, maybe you can see that poke kind of through the paint. So what we do is we just take sanding block and just start sanding. And it takes a while, but that's how we do it. So you can see it's starting to, can you see I'm not sure you can see it on the camera, but the text is starting to appear. So it looks like I got it timed almost perfect this time. The last one I did, it got a little bit too hard and was a lot of work to get it sanded off. Got the word Afghanistan almost cleared off now. You have to be really careful. It's pretty easy to go through the paint in an area that you don't want to. And that just kind of ruins the whole thing. So I want to be very careful. Just going to go a little longer, get that word Afghanistan cleared off, and then I'm gonna stop the video and work on it, concentrate on what I'm doing. Alright, so that should give you the idea of how it works. Focus. There. So I'll bring you back when I get closer to being finished. Alright guys, I think I've got most of the sanding done. You can see Afghanistan, war veterans, stars all around the top rim. You can see the Jeep here. Of course, with the way the ring's folded, the Jeep looks kind of funny. It's kind of upside down, but that's what this is right here, is the bottom of the Jeep. And you can see the outline of the Afghanistan map. And then here's the other part of the Jeep. So, that's it. Need to go ahead and bake it again to cure it. And then I may put a clear coat on it, probably will. So, but for right now, that's it. If you have any questions, please let me know. Please leave comments. Also, you can see this ring for sale on www.southwindcoinrings.com. And as well, you can see all my other coin ring creations. All right, guys.